right, then you got to put it in neutral and chock-a-block the wheels again. But always consider that. We want as much working area as we can, and the reason that car is a little kitty-wampus is I did that on purpose once again, and so that it can be moved just a little bit. All right. If the cars were side-swiped each other, you might not want to move it because as it moves, it might move the car and stuff like this. But in this case here, you can literally just back it up if you want. Always try to move the vehicle if you can. Okay. And I'll even show you a way. That car's locked down and everything right now, but I can show you a way that we can get into that and move it anyway. All right. I see. What'd you think?
Didn't check the car.
Didn't check.
I think they did good. I mean, the second car.
Okay.
Did that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I guess if we had time and maybe took the seat out, but I didn't see any need to.
I would have myself. You're trying to create as much room. Those that do EMS know trying to get patients out just a single door is difficult. Now you tip them upside down, it's even more difficult. Okay? You know what would have been nice here?
Fifth door.
Fifth door. Fifth door would have been perfect on this one. You could have opened that up and reclined those seats back, taken the seat backs off, whatever you wanted, and really had a lot of good room in there.
We had some conversations about strutting maybe the back wheel here or something this side. That way when you pull that fifth door, you cut the B-post. You don't have that, you're not losing any strength there.
Yep, and that's a good idea. I'll tell you this, from doing this many, many years, remember, those posts are strong. You would have no problems when you cut that B-post. Okay? I have even strutted back there and dropped my C-post and B-post. Cut them both, and we've put the roof flat on the ground. No problem. Okay? Those posts are strong. And remember, where's most of the weight? It's already on the ground right now. So there's not 5,000 pounds of weight in the back here in the air. So we don't have any worries. All right? So, good job getting the patient. That's hard working inside a car. Who was in there? Which one of you guys? That's hard in there. When you're trying to raise that tool up and working kind of in a laying down position, it's not easy. Okay? Anything else I see you want to add?
You guys did good. We had a little hazard with the leak. We had a charge line on that.
Okay. And yeah,
I
tend to forget that here. The power cord, you would have been electrocuted.
Yeah.
Okay? If you didn't see it, we had a power cord right here, and he goes, any hazards, and he walked right over it. So, and that's the tunnel vision we get sometimes. Okay? And that's why some of these accidents happen. If you see that, you come around this corner, you got to be looking out here for these hazards. I see power lines, and if it's him, everybody freeze. Power lines to the back of the car. Everybody back away. Okay, now we're going to back away. You in the car, stay nice and still. Don't move. We got power lines to your car here. We're going to get those disconnected. You're safer inside. Stay right where talk to them. Talk to them. All right, because we don't want them coming out of the car or trying to get out, anything like that. And yes, we'll call the utilities. We'll get it taken care of because we can't do anything until we know it's secure. Okay? So keep that in mind. Anything else I see? Team, what do you think?
I thought it worked well. With being neighboring communities, this helped out a lot.
It does.
A lot of extra training with each other.
It does. And these guys, I got to be honest, Lewiston, the incident commander here, they're just getting some hydraulic tools, okay? They've assisted before, but they've never really done this. So for them to come out here today and participate in this is awesome. And we're actually going to be training their department here in a couple of weeks, spending time doing more of this. But this was good for them. So anybody else got anything?
A little fumbly with the struts, but then again we didn't go over those.
Right, and we didn't go over it, so I was there to help. Okay, let's look at these real quick. Come on back here. Myself, I would have been looking for more structure, okay? And here, this is okay. This is a good spot to do this. This one is what I call the fine tuner. This has got the jack on it, so we can actually raise this car up. I mean, if we keep going, we can literally raise this car up, okay? And one jack, a fine tuner like this could have been fine. One jack right back here, no problem. I don't really care for the spot where they hook. They hooked on the trunk lid. Now, actually, when you think about it, trunk lid is secure, so it's pulling back this way. So it's not a super bad spot, but I like to hook on structure. And I kind of mentioned that to them when they were doing this. Hook on something strong. Now, what you may have noticed was I was looking for anything I can to help as far as the glass. Okay? So, sorry. I thought you were pulling out porno there.
I know. That's what I was looking for.
So what I was thinking was, if we're looking at glass, how can I take something from the car possibly? We could wrap that strap and hook it on each other, and I don't need to worry about this getting cut like it's been in the past. Okay? I was looking for a floor mat, anything. A shirt would have been fine, just to wrap around there to help create a transition spot where our straps aren't going to get abraded.
And then you would just hook them to each other.
We could have hooked them right to each other there. Or you could have passed a chain in there and then hooked the chain together and then hook these onto the chain. Also, lower is better, okay? Because you bring that base or that foot in. In this case here, that one's nice and strong because it's fine-tuned. This one here, it can easily come out and be moved. So
It was solid until you cranked it.
I know.
Just want to throw that out there. It was
I
solid.
lifted this up.
Yeah,
I did. So, but this one, notice how nice and strong they are. Okay, and it's almost to a point where it's creating an unstableness because it's lifting it off the ground, and we're putting more nose weight out there. We're coming off the post, the A post, and putting more nose weight on it. So. These are good. No matter what kind of struts you get, ease of this, ease of that, they kind of all do the same thing. What it comes down to here is money again. Okay? And but these are nice and they did a good job. Okay? So, leaks. They took care of that. Who was up there? Who said that? Nice job. I heard you, and everybody heard you. So that was awesome. Good job, Roger.
So one thing, sometimes when you crank these things up, then these will tend to tighten up. So sometimes you have to loosen them as you go up, just because of the angle that you're making.
Exactly, and that's a good point, Roger. I forget about that oftentimes. So, but use what you can, whether it's hose line or whatever, to soften those abraded points. In this case here, I just looked in this car. I was going to get a floor mat. And just kind of demonstrate it, but then I saw the magazine. I went, okay, this will work too. So it's like you're using what we have sometimes. So, and I would like to see the back window come out. Okay. Now the reason for that is we get EMS inside this car. Okay. If they have to open up any airways, they need to start their patient assessments. If we're doing everything from this side here, once we broke out the back window, they can go in. But you want to pick the window farthest away from the patient so that they can get access in right away and get to their patients. And that's where having them inside is going to dictate what can happen too, because they might say, let's pull these seat backs off, okay, or let's do this. Now you're doing what they want, okay, and that's perfectly fine. Okay? Any questions?
I've been told.
Why didn't the brake pedal move? You may have needed just to pull harder. Or adjust it a little bit, and you got to remember when you're in the car and it's right side up, you're actually pulling up on that brake pedal. Okay. In this case here, if I'm doing my math right, thinking about this, we're actually pulling down on the pedal. All right. So we might have had to come in a little bit more like this in order to do it. Or if you would have kept your door on, you could have used that as the lever too, and maybe got a little more out of it. Okay. I didn't mind that you cut the door off because that was your primary access point. So, and cutting the bottom of that was a good plan. I was thinking, how do we weaken this up? Cut it, whatever, because that way you can swing it all the way open. So that was good.
raising the car.
Yeah, it was
Moving
raising the car. And be careful when you're doing that, because there was 3 of you on that and you were trying to force it. And yes, that was one of my concerns. Okay? But you noticed it and you took care of it. That's the good thing. Nice work. Nice work, guys. Any other questions?
It was kind of deceiving when they climbed in there, though. I mean, they still had 2 victims in there, and they're trying to get around that. I mean, getting 2
Yeah.
people in there is going to be impossible.
They mentioned as soon as you may not have heard it, but they said we've got enough room to get the hazard out. I said yes. So but you got a point there. Once you put a third person in there, like he says, it's a party.